of how much time do you give the training each week? And I think, Amanda, you kind of sort of delved into that a little bit, that everybody might give different amounts of time. So Caroline, I'm going to come to you first for this one.
Yeah, thank you. That was a beautiful answer, Amanda. That was so lovely. So I don't really know how I'm going to follow it up, actually. I think it varies for everybody, how much time. As Amanda said, there's really no pressure. I mean, the one thing that we are expected to do is attend and engage with the webinars, which is 3 hours. And then there's a hub post that goes up on a Thursday after the webinar. It's just there. You can read it on the day. You can read it a week later. You can read it every day until the next webinar. It's really, I mean, the course material is there, available, and how you engage with it and how much time you spend on it is entirely up to you. I, I mean, if you want timings, I suppose the minimum that you could spend would be your 3 hours on the webinar. However long you want to spend on the hub post, but let's say, for argument's sake, an hour just reading and reflecting, and there's usually links to other reading material that you can go to. So let's just say an hour for the hub post, although you could read through it in 5 minutes. They're very short postings. Um, and then assignments, however long you want to spend on assignments. But what I have found is that I mean, as an example, I was out at an event for work today and it took me an hour to drive back. So I was driving through the lovely West Sussex countryside. And the entire journey, really, I was reflecting on the latest assignment, future ministry. Um, there's a lovely reading list that the reading list is presented to us. You can read all of it or none of it. It's entirely up to us. So I find myself spending a lot of time contemplating and reflecting throughout my day, which I suppose is time spent on the course, but it's not expected of us. It's not pushed in any way, but it's just a natural consequence, I think, of the training. Um, reading, spiritual practice, reflection, journaling, writing. I like writing. I write poetry to spirit. I can spend hours on that, but that's my choice. It's not expected of me. So this is what I'm trying to say. There's a minimum requirement, but I think you can't help but devote, and it is a devotion, devote very sacred spiritual time to expanding on what the training offers.
Maddie, other two things is that um, I don't want to single you out, Sarah, but I noticed you have a child. And one thing that happened for me is that my son's bedtime changed over the course of 2 years. And our webinar sort of started around the time that he goes to bed. And so I just wanted to say one thing that helped me navigate that when my husband couldn't put him to bed was I put headphones in sometimes when I was, he was falling asleep and I was sitting with him and I could still hear the webinar and I could kind of pop in and pop out. And sometimes things happen and you need to run away for a minute. It's very much allowed, and everyone's very supportive of that. There's other people in our cohort who have kids that step out sometimes and come in, and they're very respect. They have a lot of respect as well for not having, kids be recorded on camera and things like that. So that's good. And the last thing that I want to say as well is that when I did have to miss a webinar, my cohort has been fantastic with helping me out with sharing notes. People are generally very supportive, I've found, of sharing their notes and without even prompting as well. Just people kind of saying, this is what happened in the webinar or meeting to discuss. So there's a lot of support for if you do miss out. I just wanted to add that.
And one more thing on that note of support, also, which I forgot to mention, which is expected of us as well, is one-to-ones with our tutors. So that is time that you have to find as well. The one-to-ones, I think, if I remember, you're going to have to help me out, fellow Aspens. Was it once a month in Gateway 1? Was it once a month? Or was it
Yeah, one
was it
hour
once a month?
per gateway, I think.
1 hour per gateway, was it? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you both. Yes, it's normally kind of one every 4 to 6 weeks for the one-to-ones. Thank you both. And Denise, I've got your name popped down. Is there anything you want to add? Yeah, please do.
Yeah, just very quickly, really. For me, it's a bit different. So it varies from week to week for me, because of my own commitments, which have a huge impact on how much time I can spend on the course. There is the 3 hours every Wednesday, unless it's a break for any reason. But on a typical week, as well as the 3 hours on a Wednesday evening, I try to commit at least that again into reading, revision, preparation for the coming week, etc. Whether it's study group meetings, buddy group meetings, one-to-ones. It's very organic for me though. So I give it more time when I can and less time when I need to. And if I feel like I've fallen behind, I've always managed to catch up. So do commit to your 3 hours on a Wednesday night. Please do, because it's invaluable. I've missed a couple with bereavements and ill health on my own part. I'm normally disgustingly healthy, but I've just been a wee bit unlucky. But do commit your Wednesday evenings. You'll be all the better for it. And anything you do miss, whether it's study groups or extra study time, you can catch up. I am my own hardest critic, so you can definitely catch up. You really will be all the better for it.